What is up, guys? Welcome back to Punk Rock Radar, and today we are talking about the best punk rock albums of 2025. Last year, we didn't give you guys a full solidified list video. We did a live stream, and probably a lot of people missed that. So this year, we're not just doing one. We are not just doing two. We are doing three lists for each of us. Each of us has
Wait, one
accumulated.
list for each of us.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
list for each of us. Three, we're doing like over 100
120,
albums.
yeah, yeah.
120 albums. So today we're starting off with Kyle, and we tried to not have too much crossover on our list. I think we actually decided no crossover on our list. So
Yeah.
there's definitely albums that we had off of each other's list on our own. So if you don't see an album listed on this video, it's going to be either on John or mine, or maybe it's not, but we're going to shout out some records at the end as well. So we're going to be talking about Kyle's list today. Kyle, how was 2025 as a year overall for you for punk rock? What do you think?
I think this has been a really good year for punk rock and also hardcore in general.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think what was the best albums last year. The only one that comes to mind was like the Dopamines. That was my favorite. But I feel like
Dopamines
this
was
year there
really
was
good.
so many good standouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it wasn't easy getting the list together. Like we all had changes throughout. So yeah, a lot of good
No,
picks.
we could have done a top 25. So I feel like there was a lot of records that were really great this year. So, I mean, but Kyle, if you want to go ahead and get into it, what is your number 10 record of your top 10?
Of my top 10, yeah. So, uh, the first album I picked here is a band called The Chain, and the album is called Blind World. And this is an Australian hardcore band. And I don't know if it's because that Australian tier list we did, but as soon as I heard the vocals, I was like, this has got to be Ozzy. I looked it up. He's doing this like, I don't know if that's an Aussie thing. I heard these New South Wales do it before, and now I'm just associating it with them. But anyways, this album is just super dark. The vocalist is like so aggressive sounding. There's just this like evil darkness to it. And I just can't imagine what their pits are like. Like I don't know if you guys have been to like a hardcore show and like it's just like when certain bands go on, it's like the whole room changes and you're just like I probably should stay away from the pit if I don't want to get fucking knocked in the
You feel
face.
the intensity, dude. You know when there's like a hometown hero showing up at a hardcore show. You feel it. People start getting restless, and you're like, okay, dude, I might be a little too old for this pit here. I've gotten kicked in the face with combat boots at some of these hardcore shows. So I was like, might be a little. I got to go to work the next day. So
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So yeah, this is I think the smallest band I have on my list, but
Yeah.
I was checking out like their upcoming dates and stuff, and they're opening for Turnstile, so this might be an up and coming hardcore band in Australia there.
Baltimore local turnstile.
But yeah, what'd you guys think? You guys like this one?
Yeah, I mean, I liked. I'm not the biggest fan of this kind of hardcore, but for what it is, I think it's a great band that does it. And also, like I said, I feel like these guys put on like a killer show. Like I can definitely feel like these guys would bring that intensity to it, and I would definitely enjoy seeing these dudes live. Also, it's I do love these hardcore bands that just are like, hey, we're gonna come out with like a 14-minute record. We're just gonna hit you with these just like heavy songs, punch after punch, and it's over and done with. Because I feel like this type of hardcore definitely from like a listening experience on like a when you're just like sitting at home and stuff, it just needs to be short, sweet, a punch and straight to the point, and the Chain does that. So I thought it was a good hardcore record overall.
And
John, what'd you think?
that album art is amazing too. I don't
No,
know
Yeah,
the
I
album
was
art's
gonna
awesome.
reference the album art. It's
Okay,
bad.
yeah.
So I was thinking because like I'm really just delving into the stuff you guys pick like this week and the week prior, and I feel like a video maybe worth doing is like Triple B because like they're kind of like for modern hardcore, like what Epitaph was in the 90s. Like every
Mhm.
big hardcore album I see is like Triple B Records, and this is on there. And I was stoked that this was here because they only have like 1,000 monthly listeners. And Kyle, a lot of your list is like more popular bands. So this one I thought it was okay. If I'm being honest, like this style for me, I find it hard to like differentiate between the bands, but it was like super aggressive, some thrashy riffs and stuff. And like you said, like this pit will probably fuck you up. You can
Yeah.
kind of tell.
You can
So,
tell,
but yeah, it's a rad band.
Awesome.
all right. Hell yeah. What's your number 9 slot here, Kyle?
All right, so my next pick here is going to be Dark Thoughts, and the album is Highway to the End.
Slept till 2, took a shower, watched TV for half an hour. Day is wasted, but I don't care. Just watching the wind blow through your hair. You know I have to burn, have to be. No one can tell me why I'm quicker than these when I'm around you.
I just heard of this band this year, so I got to see them open for Dillinger 4 in the summer. And so up to that, I was checking out all their earlier albums, and they're pretty good, but this album, it's like it just took it to a new level. Like the vocals sound way better than any of the other Dark Thoughts albums. Um, but this is like a Ramones core album, but it's like there's just this super like erratic feeling. Like there's always like these like just it's like there's like constantly like breaks or something in between the Ramones core parts. Um, and the whole album is like 16 minutes, but it just goes hard the entire time, except for like one song, which is that Please Don't Be Lonesome, which is kind of like an acoustic song and then turns into
Yeah.
a punk part, right? And then one more fast song to end it. But yeah, and I when I saw these guys live, like they play so fast. The drummer, like his like hands, like I couldn't even see them, honestly. It was like he was like gonna levitate off of the kit.
Like
That's
a
how
drum
fast it
machine.
was. Yeah, it was amazing. So if you ever get a chance to see these guys, I would definitely recommend getting a ticket. So
Hell yeah. John, what did you think of Dark Thoughts?
Yeah, I remember when this came out. I think I had it in my new music post, but it wasn't until this morning I'm like, oh yeah, this whole album is like a nod to Road to Ruin. I don't know why it took me so long to make that connection, but yeah, like Kyle said, 11 songs in 16 minutes. So I listened to the whole thing again this morning. It's pretty rad. Like it reminds me of like early Teenage Bottle Rocket a little
Mhm.
bit,
mhm.
um, like the first two records,
Like
and
Total or something, yeah.
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 Mm.
So yeah, I was really into it. And like Kyle said, it's very frantic. It's like Teenage Bottle Rocket, the first two albums, but cranked up like 1.2 speed. So if that sounds up your alley, then I would definitely check this out.
Yeah.
It does sound like you put on a Teenage Bottle Rocket song on like YouTube and turned it up to like 2 times speed a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, I like that it's obviously a Ramones core band. They definitely are
Yeah.
doing the Teenage Bottle Rocket Lillington sound, but it also has like this dark, like lo-fi kind of production style to it that makes it feel like really unique, and I think adds to the name, like Dark Thoughts. Like it does feel like a dark Ramones core record. Like it feels a little gritty as well.
Yeah.
Also, like John said, it is short and sweet. It's sweet 16 minutes, and I feel like this thing flew by, and I've listened to it multiple times. It's one of my favorite records that you put on here, definitely.
Awesome.
And at number 8 slot, Kyle.
All right, so we covered this one. So this is Pup, Who Will Look After the Dogs.
It took me a while to let it sink in. The way that you never say what you're really thinking. It took me a while to find out. I keep fighting the feeling, and once again, I've been lucid dreaming. Turn the TV on, but the thoughts won't stop. So I rip out the cord, but I just can't turn 'em
So
Mhm.
we did a first listen video of this one, right?
We did.
And I think it was the only video we've done where like I felt upset afterwards. Like I felt just bummed out. Like I was like this was like a sad video for some reason. And I watched it and I rewatched it right when I was editing it. And I was like, Elliot's getting sadder as this album goes on too. And so
It
I
has a
think
sad vibe, dude. Yeah.
yeah. So like I was I don't know. Like I feel like this has grown on me. I might like this more than some of the other Pup albums now. I think this might be a top 3 Pup album for me. And it's got the Jeff Rosenstock song on there, and all the songs just have a darkness to them. And I was trying to think, like, because Elliot, you were saying, you know, you're not as crazy about this one as maybe the other ones.
Yeah.
And to me, this is kind of like Pup's Rented World, right? Like the Menzingers have that
Yes,
darker
definitely.
album, and this feels
Definitely.
kind of like it's Pups. And you know, you said in the Discord a couple days ago, I just like hearing people sing about finding purpose, meaning, and enjoying life. To be honest, so I,
Anymore, like,
I
yeah, I like a little bit happier stuff. I mean, Pup
yeah.
is like, who will look after the dogs? He's basically saying when I'm gone, like he's gonna look after my dog, and I'm like, that's so sad. Like the whole album is kind of this, like I felt like it was like he's like thinking of the past and better times, and just like the hard feelings he's feeling now. So it's a very sad record. I feel like that's one of the reasons I don't connect to it. I like more whimsical Pup a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, continue.
yeah,
Uh,
no, I was gonna say yeah. One of the darkest lyrics in here is like I can't die yet because who will look after the dogs?
yeah, I'm like, oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah, no, it's dark, but no,
Yeah.
I've really grown to love this and got awesome vinyl of it. This cool splatter. I feel like a lot of the
Oh
records
yeah,
this year have really cool variants. But anyways, that's my my third pick
jo-
there. What do you think,
John.
John?
Well, yeah. What did you think of the Pup record? What did you think of the Olive Garden
Yeah,
song?
I feel like
Uh,
um every time this band puts out an album, it's in like I see it on top lists every year. So I always take the time to actually listen to it. And I never connect with this band. I just I don't know why. I just don't get this band really. I don't find anything offensive about it. But it's just like I don't know, and I see like how popular they are, and it's always on the year-end list, and I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. Probably opposite of you guys, probably the only thing I like the concept, like who will look after the dogs. I love the album title and the feel and that kind of stuff, but for me, just Pup, not a band I've ever really enjoyed.
So
I'm
John,
sorry,
so
Kyle.
I knew you weren't gonna like this one, but I'm still holding out some hope for you to become a fan one day because I have a younger cousin who would always shit on Pup to me. And one day I was like, man, you just gotta like sit down and really like take it in. He's now such a big Pup fan that him and his fiance have matching Pup tattoos. They have the morbid stuff. They have the the balloon with the thing. So
one
there's
day,
a
what?
chance out there,
Yeah.
John. Yeah.
One day, John, you and your wife will have matching pup
I don't
tattoos.
think
So
so.
yeah, we're waiting for it. You just got to find that pup song.
It's
So
been like 7 years of trying to like Pup. I don't know, man, but
hmm.
maybe,
So give it 7
maybe.
more.
I'm not giving up yet. Yeah.
All right. What's your number? Is it number 7? What's your number 7 pick here, Kyle?
All right. So my seventh pick is going to be Drain is Your Friend.
Where go when you finally got everything you want? Your hopes and dreams become reality, but that feeling's never gone. Somehow I still need so much more. Will I ever find peace of mind I've been searching for? It's been years and I'm still running, 'cause I'm scared of everything, scared of nothing. Those old fears start to slowly fade away, but there's always something new to take its place.
And
Okay.
so honestly, everyone, it felt like everyone for a while was like, you got to check out Drain. I just kept seeing them everywhere. And I'm a person where it's like the more you tell me to listen to something, the more I'm gonna resist checking it out. And I,
Yeah.
I was forced to see them sort of because they opened for Knocked Loose. I think it was last year I saw them. and it completely changed my mind. They have such an amazing set. Um, like the entire place was just going crazy, and it made me kind of realize they sound like Pantera, but with like a more modern like turnstile hardcore feel to it. And I feel like ever since I kind of looked at it in that way, I've like just totally into it. Um, I love Living Proof, but Is Your Friend, this album just like it's like every album they just continuously get better here, and I think
Yeah.
this is like peak Drain. Um, but yeah, and all these
I,
songs like they're catchy. Like I'm catching myself just singing along with all of them. So yeah.
yeah, I think it's their best record as well. Um, yeah, I've never been like a big Drain fan, but I found myself like really enjoying this one. I'll have to listen to it again with like the Pantera comparison in context. But I do like that they mix it up a little bit. That it's not like just constant hardcore songs. Like they have that song "Who's Having Fun," which is like almost like this
Yeah.
like pop
Yeah.
punk kind of like radio bop vibe to it. And I would love to see more of that like kind of mixed into it because I'm not like a just straight up hardcore fan. Like I like it in kind of spurts and in batches and sometimes when I'm in the mood. But if you're able to hit those like heavy hardcore riffs and then incorporate some other sounds that I like a little more, I feel like that's cool. And I feel like Drain was doing that a little bit more on this record. So it's definitely my favorite Drain album. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it's another one of those bands where I'm just seeing it for like the last couple of years with this album, the last album. It's just like unanimously loved and like just praised. So I'm like Kyle, like if the more I see it, I'm like, okay, I'm probably not gonna like it. But I think Drain is a very good, not great band, in my opinion. Like, but I've seen like the live shows and everything, and I could see that it's like definitely a vibe. And then I watched like a couple interviews with them, like where they went to the Amoeba store. They seem like the coolest, like genuinely
Yeah.
Yeah.
fun band who just like enjoys what they're doing. So it makes you want to like them a little bit more. The song, my favorite song is the one Elliot shouted out, "Who's Having Fun," which is probably the outlier on here, which like definitely a more punk leaning song.
Hmm.
But I think it's a good, not great hardcore album. I mean, they're definitely like a hype machine at this point, so it's like working against it for me. But I did enjoy the record.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny you brought up the interview because that was the other thing. Like every time I watch those guys, they're like just so grateful and like they
Yes,
just seem
yeah,
like the
you
nicest
want to like
dudes.
them.
And for some reason they to me they look like an uncle you would have had in the 80s. Like the guy with the long hair and the mustache, and like I just feel like they probably could coach like the meanest pee-wee football team ever. Um, just like I don't know, they just give off that vibe, and then they're playing this crazy hardcore, so
Yeah,
it's awesome.
they just seem like stoner surfers to me, all of them, like that.
Yeah,
like like just the for I get the 80s vibe too, but they're like the kid who just shows up to high school just completely stoned out of his mind every day.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It reminds me of my one of my old friends, Travis. He was always into thrash music and stuff like that. He'd always be like, "Yo, what's up, man? What's going on, dude?"
yeah, yeah, like that.
He's always like so happy to see you. It was like no matter what. So, but yeah, I mean, Kyle, what are we at number six? What's your number six slot here, man?
All right, so this was a recent addition. This kept coming on my Spotify algorithm, so and I couldn't stop listening to it afterwards. But the band is Nice, and the album is called Nice World. And so you're probably wondering, like, is it actually nice? Because like it's spelled Niis, but I watched an interview and they confirmed that that is how you say it. Um, but this band is like it's sort of like a Meal and the Sniffers, but like mixed with the Dead Kennedys and then like a dance punk style going on, and the vocalist does these like beautiful singing parts and then these crazy screams. It's just amazing. Like it's just such a cool mix of styles. Um, and I don't know, it's like there's this trend going on where it's like they have these like model looking singers with these like bunch of dudes that look like they could be running a carnival. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
all
I
these
do know
bands
what you
coming
mean. Yeah.
out lately.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. And yeah, there's like a music video for I think it's the Bow. I can't remember the video name right now, but they're just like on all these horses, and the singer, she looks like a punk rock Melisandre from from Game of Thrones, the like
Game
fire
of Thrones.
priestess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this band just has a really cool vibe, and I don't know. I think they're gonna blow up. I don't know how big they are yet, but I just have a feeling this is their first album, so I'm loving it.
It seems to be doing pretty well already.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think, John?
Well, I thought I was gonna hate it, and if I had listened to how Kyle described it before I listened to it, I would also think I was gonna hate it. But but I didn't. I didn't. I feel like part of it's what you said, Kyle. The vocals go from almost like sensual, right, to like just absolute rage.
Yeah,
And I don't want to use a lazy comparison, but it definitely reminds me a little of the Scowl record.
yeah, same.
It does
But
definitely. It's not even lazy. I thought the same thing.
It's
Yeah.
the same
yeah,
but different, like for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely
Mhm.
heavier than that record,
Mhm.
in my opinion, like in spots. So I kind of dug this, and I did not expect to. Like, I don't know, but I kind of like this more than the Drain album, and I guess considering its spot that you did too. So it was a pleasant surprise. I never heard of this band. I never listened to it before this week, and I kind of got into it.
Yeah, this is the one I only listened to the least, but I already could tell this is like a really great record. Like I say, it's like that classic hardcore sound, but I feel like it has like that modern kind of hardcore production on it as well. Also, we were talking about the song "The Bow," where first I didn't know what John was talking about. Like I heard kind of like this corn riff in the beginning, and then at some point they literally just do the blind riff.
Yeah,
It's really fun. They literally just do the blind, and it made me want to listen to the first chord record after hearing that. So
I did the
it,
same thing. Yeah,
I always love seeing like an old school chord shout out or like a random familiar breakdown. It's always very fun. But I think the album sounds amazing. The singer is great. I love hardcore with female vocalists. I feel like now more than ever. I feel like it mixes up kind of the you hear so much just like tough guy slam hardcore vocals that it's so nice to have just like some like a female vocal to kind of touch things up and make it unique. So I thought this is a great record. I'm definitely going to listen to it a lot more. So. Hmm.
Awesome.
What is your number for? We're in the top five.
Top
Sound the
five here.
alarms. Top five for Kyle. These are his top five records. What is this, Kyle?
All right, so my fifth one is going to be Teen Mortgage, and the album's called Devil Ultrasonic Dream. And honestly, when I first listened to this one, it took me a while to get into because I think I was just so used to
That's how I
like
felt. Yeah.
the first album's not technically an album, it's like a compilation of like a bunch of splits, right? Or 7 inches, I mean.
Yeah.
And there's more of like a those feel more raw or something.
Yeah,
Whereas this
definitely.
album, it feels like they were trying to write an actual album here. Everything feels more consistent, and it has more of a darker tone to it. But this has become one of my favorite albums of the year. Obviously, it's on my list. Um, but yeah, there's just a lot of that cool like surfy dancey kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, dark, surfy, fuzzy garage punk stuff they do really well.
And I saw these guys last year open for Death from Above, and it's only two people in this band, right? It's just a guitarist and a drummer,
Hmm.
and like I don't know. I always wonder like, is that going to impact the sound of when they play live and all that kind of stuff? But it sounds massive, and like with all the effects and everything live, like it's super cool. So I definitely recommend seeing these guys too. And they just have this cool attitude to all these songs. I don't know. It kind of feels
I
like Nirvana or something.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of sleeping on this one as well too, just because it
Yeah.
sounded so different from the previous one. And I did like the previous Teen Mortgage record. I'm not like a huge Teen Mortgage fan. I feel like they're another band where I like the like an EP I can listen to, but like a full album sometimes just the kind of production, this kind of fuzzy, surfy production quality to it, I feel like I don't appreciate for an entire album. But I mean, there's songs on here that are like really good. Like the songs you put on there, like kind of made me reassess the album after the first time I listened to, because I was like, man, Rip's actually really good. I'm like, Party's really fun. Personal Hell is like almost like a grungy track, and I
Yeah.
love the opening track too, Devil Ultrasonic Dream. But I do feel like towards the end, I get a little tired of just this kind of garagey, lo-fi production quality to it. But I mean, this is the best. I think listening to it again, I think it is the best Teen Mortgage record, and I think what they do is really good, like for the sound they're trying to achieve. John, what'd you think?
Almost exactly what you said, Elliot.
Yeah.
I did not expect to like this at all. Like I I'd heard like a handful of the songs, and then like I was reading some of the press reviews and that kind of stuff, and I was like, this is gonna be another one of those albums just isn't for me. But I kind of got like a little bit of Angel Dust vibes here and there,
Hmm.
um, and then I saw, this isn't really super related to the music, but I was surprised to see they were on Roadrunner Records, which if you
Yeah.
guys don't know, is like Slipknot,
Yeah, I was about
Sepultura,
to say I
Feel
didn't know that.
Factory.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, what the heck? Like that, I don't see how that fits. But the A side is badass, so I was definitely
Yeah.
like getting into it. And then I fell off a little bit on the B side. Like it gets a little bit repetitive, but I liked it a lot more than I thought it would.
I would these guys. I would love to see Teen Mortgage open for Slipknot.
Yeah.
That would be wild. But, Kyle, what's your number 4 slot here?
All right. So my number 4 is going to be the band Gorilla Toss, and the album's called You're Weird Now.
You're so uncool. Stimulation buries you. Simulator breakthrough. Life's a zoo. You're so uncool. Stimulation buries you. Buries you. Buries you. Life's a zoo. You're so uncool. Stimulation buries you. Simulator breakthrough. Life's a zoo. You're so uncool. Stimulation buries you.
And so this is an interesting band. This is like they're considered psychedelic punk, and there's kind of like a Riot Girl tinge to it. In ways, this reminds me of La Tigra, which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of like the first La Tigra album. And it also reminds me of a band called You Say Party, We Say Die, where they have this like really frantic kind of like, I don't know, screaming kind of going on all the time. Um, but anyways, the thing that draws me to this too is I love all the synths that are going on in these. And I don't know how much you guys have listened to dubstep, but I really love like early British dubstep, kind of like artists like Rusko or like Caspa. Um, and a lot of the effects and stuff they're using here just kind of reminds me of that. Um, but yeah, this is just this every song is just like a trip. It's awesome. Um,
This
their other stuff is really great too.
So I don't know if you know who this is, but this reminds me of Kiro Bonita was a punk band. Kiro Bonita is like this very weird, like abstract kind of like pop artist, and they do like a lot of these like weird kind of throwback synth sounds that are kind of stretched out and almost like a almost like it's like satire of like early 2000 sounds, but it reminds me of that, and it definitely feels like it's like an 80s style record. I can definitely, because I honestly I found myself not sure about it at first. I honestly had a lot of fun with it. It's very weird. It's very like dancey.
Yeah.
It's a very like dance punk. I think they called this. I saw they were calling this psychedelic punk, which I feel like is a pretty good way to describe this. So
Yeah.
if that sounds appealing to you, definitely check it out. But I had a lot of fun with this, so I thought it was a fun record. John, what did you think of this? This is the one I'm so curious with John. What do you have to say?
I
This is
think you
so
guys
far from his
know.
alley.
Yeah.
I did not like it at all. Honestly, it reminded me like the Little Shop of Horrors movie from the 80s. Like if there was like a kind of punk band in that, and I was hearing like Primus influence. It was just
Mhm.
like too circusy, too weird for me, and I just I don't know. I was like I tried like because we each put 3 songs from the album for us to actually get into, and I was like maybe there's some like more straightforward stuff that I would like, just not for me on this one. Gorilla Toss, nah.
I I
I'm
will
a
say
pass.
I will say at least to say the singer has like some great vocals, and there's some at least good melodies in this thing. I feel like the CEO of personal and pleasure. I love that. It's like the CEO of personal and pleasure. I'm like
So
that's
good.
very
So good.
catchy. It's very well written. So I
I
had fun with it, but I knew this is so far from John's alley. The alley's in another city, so
Yeah, there's 2 albums Kyle picked that I feel like I was like, okay, if you're on like 3 or 4 drugs right now, this is probably a super fun time.
yeah.
And this was one of them. Like this is like a drugs album, I
the
think.
album art looks like drugs, right? So
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
I'd be curious to have Kyle listen to Kira Kira Bonita now, see if he likes them. It's very strange. So,
I'll check it
um,
out.
let's go ahead and go to your number 3 spot here, Kyle.
All right, so my next pick here is going to be End It, and the album is
Mhm.
Wrong Side of Heaven.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, no matter where I'm at. I'm there without a country sovereignty, I reject. Loyalty to nothing, forced to walk the earth. Trapped inside hypocrisy, still I return to dirt. Tried my hardest to get out, but heavy is the crowd, make a nigga scream and shout. 2 roads diverge, you know the one I took. Chose a road less traveled by forever hooked. Loyal, loyal to them. Loyal, how you got it, always on the run.
And I mean, this album, it just opens up with him going, ah, shit. And I'm just like, instantly in. I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is going to be the best fucking hardcore record like I've ever heard. And then it was. And like it just keeps going. Like it's just like every song feels like you're off to the races. Um and yeah, I don't know. It has like this like bouncy hardcore feel. Like some of my favorite hardcore bands are like Blacklisted or Brace War, and it kind of like has that feeling here. And I'm so glad this came out too, because I didn't really care for the new Turnstile, and I just feel like these guys have like taken the torch and they're just making awesome hardcore. Um, but yeah, and there's like a part where the singer in that Pale Horse song is like, ah, yeah, and then like I don't know, man. I just love this singer. I can't get enough of him. I watched a bunch of interviews. I've just been watching all their live sets, and I really hope I get to see these guys. And I also bought this one on vinyl, and man, like this is such a cool variant.
That's cool.
It
Yeah.
looks
I like that a
just
lot.
like the album art, like the
Yeah,
smoky.
the smoky flames. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this I don't know. This could have easily been number one probably for me here too, but
Yeah,
can't
it
get
was
enough
on
of
my
it.
list. I think it's the best hardcore record of the year. But John, what do you think of End It?
Where are they from, Kyle? Is there a chance you could see
Baltimore.
them?
Uh,
Baltimore again.
Baltimore local.
yeah.
Let's go.
I'm sure.
I did not
I
know
think they
that.
play around here, so I'm sure I'll get to at some point.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is in my my top 5 hardcore albums, which there's probably only 5 in there that I really enjoyed, and this is definitely one of them. I think it was Doug who was hyping this up a lot in the Discord, so I gave it
Yeah.
like a real shot. And I'm like you, man. It kind of reminds me like there's like one point in my life where I was definitely more into hardcore, which was like the end of the end of the 2000s into the 2010s with like Guns Up and Down to Nothing and all that
Oh,
kind of
Guns Up is so good.
very punk influenced hardcore. And I feel like this band is right in that vein. Like if you're like a
100%.
punk rock fan that like mixes in like these awesome thrashy riffs, like that's my sweet spot for hardcore. And I feel like this is like a no skip hardcore record, which is very, very rare for me. So I'm glad we finally get to talk about it, because not something we talk about on the channel very often. But this is my number 2 hardcore album of the year, so it's a great pick.
Dude, at times I feel like Indit has like this quality to him. It almost seems like 2010s kind of skate punk sound to it a little bit. I really
Yeah.
thought at times the lead singer felt like it could have been like the lead singer of Poor Habit. Like I felt like there was really just like
Yes.
yelly, shouty vocals. I felt were like very Poor Habit adjacent. And the album, like I said, it was in my top 10. I gave it to Kyle because I'm a nice
Yeah.
guy, and it's such a great just hardcore record. It's so fast, it's so thrashy. Also, they have the song at the end, "Could You Love Me," which is like almost like a Graves era Misfits track, and I
Yeah.
love it. And I almost want them to do like a little bit more of that. Anytime I hear like with these hardcore bands just do a total different genre and nail it, I'm just like, dude, you could incorporate some more of this. I love to hear like dynamic shifts like that. And they have a music video for that one and everything. And I think the another music video they have is like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater style music video, which is so
Yeah.
awesome. So to me, this is like the soundtrack to like pulling up stoned at the 7-Eleven at 3 a.m. and getting a bunch of mini tacos and pizza and like just chowing down with your homies, dude. So going back to the place and playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater until 5 a.m. and sleeping all day. So that's what the End It soundtrack is for. So, but great record. I love this one.
So good, yeah.
What were we at, number 3 or number 2?
Number
I'm
2.
losing track.
Number 2.
Number 2.
All right, so my second or top 2 is going to be the Viagra Boys, and the album is Viagra Boys. I don't know how you exactly say it. They just added a space in the wrong spot.
You can probably just call it self-titled at this point.
or self-title. I don't even know.
I found a crouton underneath the futon. Mama said I couldn't eat it, cause all my teeth are gone. My personality is based on food now. Take it from Bogdan, he's my veterinarian. His folks are from Croatia, they've been through some shit, man. I seem like such a bitch when I talk about Swedish politics. Or maybe he's Australian, I never really listen when he's talking about himself.
So this band, it's like considered, I guess, art punk, like avant-garde dance garage punk, I guess, which just
Yeah.
sounds really weird.
Sounds pretentious.
It does
So,
sound
yes.
pretentious, yeah. So I have a younger cousin who's absolutely obsessed with this band, and he's been constantly telling me to check them out. And I've checked out all the other albums, and I do like them, but I've never like fell in love with them. But on this album, I feel like they took all those different sounds of those other ones and they like just put them in the right order, and it's become this like super catchy album that like I listen to it so much all the time. Like this was kind of like my anthem for the summer almost. Couldn't stop listening to it. And they just have this weirdness, this like kind of like a jokiness. Like you know how we sometimes say like the Dead Milkmen are like a comedy band, but it's like in a smart, funny way. That's kind of how I
Yes.
feel with the Viagra Boys. And every song's pretty unique sounding. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I love Dirty Boys, The Bog Body, Uno number 2, right? Like, I don't know. It's fun. Love it.
No, I ended up really liking this album. I also was like kept seeing Viagra Boys, and I never could fully get into them. And even this album, when I first listened to it, just kind of in passing, I didn't think I was fully on board with it. But I think after I've gone in through and listened to this thing multiple times at this point, I think like the cadence and the humor that the lead singer brings to this thing makes it like a really just like fun, charming, like witty album. He has like this satirical swagger to himself as well. It has like so much personality, and there's so many lines in this album that like it's like stuck in my head. He's like, "I am a man who's made of meat, while you're on the internet looking at feet," and I'm just like, this is such a
Yeah.
goofy thing. And then he has like the song is like, "I found a crouton underneath the futon," and then he has another line that always gets stuck in my head. He's like, "I can drink 15 to 20 beers depending on the size of the can."
Yeah.
I'm just like these goofy lines, but it's there's a lot of like very smart like satirical political elements to it, and there's like a lot to dissect, and it's a very modern album. It's taking shots at 2025, you can tell very much so. But John, what did you think of Viagra Boys overall? I feel like this is also in another city's alley for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may need to give it another listen, but on my first this is my first foray into this band at all. I've seen the name, but I've never once listened to them. And it's the other album I was talking about where it
Yeah.
sounds like you need to be on something to really enjoy it. And this is my first time seeing the album cover, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it on the first listen, to be honest, but maybe I need to actually listen to the whole thing. And
I wasn't big on the first listen. It kind of
Yeah.
you kind of almost become like Stockholm syndrome captured by it, where you're just like, this is such a weird album. Become kind of captivated by what the fuck is this guy talking about in a lot of ways. So
For sure, yeah.
I don't like, what do we look? Is this like a sex doll elf tinfoil hat thing? Like, what am I looking at here? Do we know?
I don't know,
just-
but I'm all about it. You know, no, I'm kidding.
just try not to think too hard about it. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A
blow up
badass
doll
shrimp
elf, yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know.
man.
Maybe there's some references here. I'm not. Is this the water boy they're talking about? I don't know. Is this the man made of meat?
You
Is
got
this
like
the
a
bog body?
crawfish neck tattoo. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at.
He's the
This is
the River King.
it's a great album art for this album though, because this is how I felt listening to it pretty much.
This was John's face the whole time.
Yeah.
He listened to it.
Yeah.
But Kyle, number one record of the year, number one. Drum roll, please. What is it?
And my number one is going to be Waves Spun.
It's not about you. It's not about us. It's not about me. Although I wish it was. It's not about when it all went wrong. It's not about why. It's not about how it's supposed to be between you and me. Gone, you're a goner. You're gone, you're a goner. You're gone.
And so, Waves is like one of my favorite bands of all time. I listen to them constantly. I think every album they have is amazing, but this feels like peak Waves. And I know when they went to write this, they like apparently wrote it like where they wrote some of the original albums, and it kind of feels like a return to kind of the old formula, but still new. It reminds me more of like the album Five and Afraid of Heights, where it has kind of a more darker tone, and those albums kind of have like a more consistent vibe to all the songs. Whereas like the last two albums they put out, they're really good, but it's like they were trying something new. It's like they were trying to write these kind of weird out of the box songs sometimes. And I don't know, I'm loving this. I hope they keep going with this style. And the album art also very cool. There's like these like demon ghost spirits going down a drain or something. But yeah, so many great songs on here. Love Goner, Lucky Stars, New Creature. Yeah, no. What do you guys think? I think you guys like this one actually a lot. It sounded like.
Yeah, John, what would you think of this one?
I don't know how I missed this album. Because I follow this band, and I know Hideaway was a little bit weird, but I liked it a lot. I'm looking at the I had no clue how many records they had. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a couple more because like and Kyle, I will say I had your order completely different. I don't know what I did, but I had this as your number 10 and I was really confused. I was like, "Damn, this is the best album on the list
It's the
by
best
far."
album. I think
Yeah,
For
Kyle's was not in order.
it
I don't
wasn't in
know.
order. This
Yeah.
Elliot was like, we have to have an order. He's just like, making all these
Oh,
rules,
okay.
but yeah.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
I
nothing more
I
punk rock than rules. So
I've listened to this album probably 8 times in the last like 2 weeks. Like this would be borderline into my top 10.
oh,
And
definitely.
it's like I said, I really like the last one, which I think was Hideaway. Maybe there's another one I missed, but this is like a way more pop punk album. It's like straightforward,
Definitely.
just a fun record. I will say the sound of the album doesn't go with the cover at all, but I also think the cover is badass. It's probably like
Mhm.
the coolest album art on your list too. But without a doubt, my favorite of the albums you picked, and I'm so glad you threw it on here because I completely missed it.
Yeah.
Dude, I this is the first time I've listened to Waves because I just assumed from their name and stuff like that they were like one of these pretentious like pitchfork punk bands, and maybe they are still
Like Pup.
considered that. Yeah, like Pup. Hey, you know what? I got into Pup early though, so maybe later I would have been like, nah, I'm not gonna listen to these guys, fucking tastemakers. But this album is like so good. The production on this thing is so excellent. Like I feel like it has this nice like grungy pop punk feel to it. Very similar to like what Heart Attack Man kind of has production wise a lot
Yep.
of times.
Hmm.
But I feel like just a lot of just like really straightforward, just kind of these great like grungy, surfy sounding pop punk songs with just excellent vocals and super catchy melodies. I feel like these melodies are just like so like unique for this band, and they do it so well. I mean, I love Gillette Bayonet and the song Goner, New Creatures. I feel like these are such like great songs. This definitely would have been in my top 10 too if I didn't sleep on it. I didn't even know it came out. Like I said, until Kyle put it on
Yeah.
there. So I feel like
Yeah.
no one is talking about it. So it's like this absolute just banger just sitting here. So this is an excellent number one. This is I feel like the definitely the number one record on Kyle's list. It's my favorite as well. So good job, Kyle.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job,
But
Kyle.
yeah, everyone go check out all these albums. They're all amazing. And like it was hard coming up with this list, so I have a couple honorable mentions that I had on here, right? So
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna call it the Riptide's newest album.
Yep.
Our
The
infamous interview. Let's check that
our
out.
first interview, and Teenage Bottle Rocket. I feel like they kind of changed it up a little bit this year. It was like this like kind of like 80s new wave like addition to their sound, which was really cool, kind of more like a Lillingtons kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I had that on here. I'm gonna screw up the name now, but I had this Japanese hardcore or faux Japanese hardcore band on here, and I'm gonna post the name because I can't remember how to say it.
I wouldn't try either. So,
Yeah.
mm.
But yeah. So I mean, there's probably a ton more I could have mentioned, but we'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This is Kyle's list. Obviously, we're doing 2 more videos. We're hitting my list. We're hitting John's list. So you guys can get 30 new records to check out this year. So tell us what you thought of Kyle's list down below. Tell us some records that you were hyped about, and definitely stay tuned because there is more top tens coming up. We want to like I said last year, I feel like we didn't promote enough new music, and this year we're trying to get a lot of stuff. So get ready, and we all have very different lists in different ways. So if you're looking for a certain style or something like that, John hits a lot of skate punk, pop punk stuff, and I'm hitting a lot of orgcore and some different things. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.